Hi guys, so our good friend Jacob Rees-Mogg put out a video on social media about an investment in his constituency regarding cheese. He highlighted a mozzarella plant that is expected to produce 25 tonnes of the product per week. This is obviously good news for the area, as it will mean investment and perhaps jobs. But of course it comes during a week when Rishi Sunak is desperately trying to shore up what little support he has with farmers. Now what's interesting about this report is that Jacob didn't mention Brexit at all, which got me thinking, why? Well, I did a little bit of digging and I can explain the reason the Brexiteer left this important information out. Have a listen.
In the week when a great deal of interest seemed to be aroused by my comments on full-fat milk, it was only appropriate that I was visiting the Chew Valley Dairy in my constituency. It's a fascinating business. It's only about a mile and a half from where I live, and it shows what the farming community can do to improve their margins. The milk that's processed there comes from local farms and it's sold as a premium product, not just in the Chew Valley, but also in London. Next door, perhaps equally excitingly, there's a mozzarella production factory that's recently set up, but in a few weeks will be producing 25 tonnes of mozzarella a week. It is the Casatificio Fratelli Amodio. And what they're doing is producing high quality mozzarella locally with locally sourced milk that they can then sell around the country. Initially to restaurants, but they're going to go into the retail market as well. Why is this so exciting and interesting? Well, in the week when the Prime Minister went to address the National Farmers Union, talking about the countryside, it's so important to work out what the economic activity of the countryside should be. Is it to be a pleasure park for ramblers where nothing much goes on? Or is it in fact going to be a hub of economic drive and activity? Because if it is, it needs innovative people, such as the people I was speaking to today, who are investing in business, who are putting in high quality equipment, but also who are selling premium high quality products that people like you and me will want to buy. I think it's so exciting that this is happening locally in the Chew Valley in North East Somerset, the perfect place for dairy farming because the grass is green, the rain that feeds it ensures that it's plentiful, and we've had the highest quality milk for centuries.
Okay, so as I said, it's interesting that Jacob Rees-Mogg didn't mention anything about Brexit because I did a little bit of digging, as I said, and I found this article from 2022, Dairy Reporter. It says, Italian company sets up mozzarella plant in the UK to speed up access to market. So it says, Brexit customs requirements, compounded by COVID-19 protocols, this is from 2022, are delaying the time it takes to get the products across the border. The owner and founder of the company. And whereas goods could previously move freely between the UK and Europe, there are now costly import taxes to pay. So what's happened here? And I'll leave a link to the article if you want to read it yourself. What's happened here is that the Italian mozzarella company used to sell directly from Italy, I think from Naples, into the United Kingdom without any restrictions. But then following Brexit, they realized, okay, if we want to continue to sell in the United Kingdom, it makes more sense economically, it's more feasible to actually set up a plant in Britain to continue our sales to, for example, restaurants or whatever. Now, Jacob mentioned that this is a premium product. This is not a standard product, that you would find in the supermarket. At the moment, it's not available in the supermarket. We're talking about a premium product. Okay, so it's not for everyone. It's a more expensive product. So now on the surface, that might sound like good news. See, well, at least, they're setting up a plant. This is going to create jobs or whatever. This is about passing on. This cost will have to be passed on to the consumer. So this has made the product more expensive. Now, this is okay, perhaps when it's a premium product. The restaurants can absorb this cost. They'll have to pass it on, of course, to their patrons. But this is a cost that was not necessary because the Italian company used to be able to just send it directly to Britain, but now they can't because of the import costs, because of veterinary health certificates that are coming in this year as well. So they have decided it's feasible to actually set up in Britain. Now, a number of sectors have already done this. They have realized, look, if we want to continue to operate in Britain, we have to set up an office in Britain. Now, once again, on the surface, this sounds like good news, but this is a cost that has to be passed on. And of course, the product that you're receiving in Britain will not be protected in the same way as the product in Europe is protected. So mozzarella is a protected product in Europe. If you want to try and copy it, you're not allowed to. You need to follow a particular standard. That's protected in Europe. The UK is not within that framework anymore. So it means that the mozzarella produced in England, in this case in Somerset, is not to the same standard. Now, I'm not saying that it's a lower standard. It could be a higher standard. I don't know, but it's a different product you're buying. So, once again, the reason Jacob Rees-Mogg did not mention Brexit is probably when he met the people, the Italian owner of this factory, he probably said, well, the reason we have to set up this factory is because of Brexit, because we can't import things like we could before. There are problems with delays, there are problems with paperwork, problems with the cost. So we've decided to set up this plant. Jacob didn't mention that, of course. I'm sure that the owner did mention it to Jacob. So Jacob Rees-Mogg knows this. I'm certain he knows this, but he decided to leave this information out in his report, which is convenient. Once again, on the surface, yes, this is good news. A company setting up in Britain, creating jobs, but once again, this is a cost that will have to be passed on, when before it was simply just sending the product from Italy in this case. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.